This is according to Variety. In a major shakeup, WWE has struck a deal with Netflix that will see its flagship weekly live pro wrestling show begin airing exclusively on the streaming giant beginning in January of 2025. This will mark the first time in its 3-decade history that Raw has not aired new episodes on a linear television network. The deal is valued at $500 million per year for 10 years, or a whopping $5 billion commitment by the streamer. Netflix has an option to opt out after the initial 5 years and extend for an additional 10 years. Sources say that WWE's current 5-year deal for the U.S. rights to Raw with NBC Universal is approximately $250 to $260 million per year. WWE's current deal with NBC Universal has Raw airing on the USA Network until October of 2024. According to an individual with the knowledge of the situation, exactly where Raw will air between the end of that deal and the beginning of the Netflix deal is still yet to be determined. Under the deal, Netflix will become the exclusive home of Raw in the US, Canada, the UK, Latin America, and other territories once the deal begins, with more countries and regions to be added over time. Netflix will also become the television home for all WWE shows outside, and this is a big deal right here. Netflix will also become the television home for all WWE shows outside the United States. That includes fellow weekly shows SmackDown and NXT, as well as annual live events like WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and the Royal Rumble, as well as documentaries and original series and additional projects. The deal is the final step in WWE's latest round of television rights deals. It was previously announced that the rights to SmackDown had been sold to NBC Universal and USA Network in a 5-year, $1.4 billion deal. Not long after, it was announced that NXT would be moving from the USA Network to the CW. A source close to the deal pegged the value to WWE at about $20 million to $25 million a year, also for 5 years. Acquiring the rights to Raw solidifies Netflix's push into live programming, with the streamer having just tested the waters with live streaming as of late. In March of 2023, Netflix debuted its first ever live event with a comedy special, Chris Rock Selective Outrage. They followed up with a live Love is Blind reunion special in April. They have aired multiple live events since, most recently the 30th Screen Actors Guild Awards. But with Raw, Netflix will have live programming that runs weekly year-round. Such a move is a necessity for the trailblazer of the streaming revolution, with multiple competitors already offering regular live sports programs to their subscribers. Amazon, for example, locked the exclusive rights for NFL's Thursday Night Football for 10 years, beginning with the 2023 season. Peacock, NBC Universal's streaming service at a current home to the WWE library content and live events in the U.S., recently racked up 23 million viewers when it aired the NFL playoff game between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Miami Dolphins. So yeah, that's basically the whole gist of the entire deal with Netflix and Monday Night Raw. What are my thoughts on this? I mean, of course, this news is overshadowed by a lot of the Vince McMahon stuff, but overall, what are my thoughts on this whole Netflix deal in terms of Monday Night Raw moving to Netflix beginning in January of 2025? This is a win for WWE. As you guys all know, SmackDown will be moving to the USA Network beginning in October of 2024. And as well as NXT will be moving off the USA Network, and they're going straight to broadcasting. They're going from cable to broadcasting to the CW Network, and they're going to be airing NXT beginning in October of 2024. That left Raw on the table, and there were a lot of suitors for Monday Night Raw. You know, there was a lot of speculation on Warner Brothers Discovery potentially, going to, WWE to air the rights to Monday Night Raw. But, I mean, Warner Brothers Discovery is doing a lot of cost cutting. I don't think, Warner Brothers Discovery would be willing to pay that amount of money for WWE, because at the end of the day, WWE is demanding a lot of money. There was Disney / FX. The FX network was in talks with Monday Night Raw. There's a lot of potential suitors for Raw. Amazon was another one. Streaming, in terms of streaming, I think, this is a great deal for the WWE with Raw moving to Netflix. If you really think about it, streaming is starting to become the norm. Cable is starting to die a slow death, and that is just the cold, hard fact that people do not understand, but cable is dying. Cable is dying. More and more people are turning to streaming. Streaming is the new cable. Streaming is the new cable, with services like Netflix, with services like Amazon, with Hulu, with Max, with all these other services, Paramount Plus, Disney Plus, they are moving straight to streaming because, again, they know the reach that streaming has is way more than the current reach that cable television has. If you look at the Raw ratings throughout the years, even the past 10 years, think about this. 10 years ago, Raw was roughly doing around 3 to 4 million viewers. That audience has dropped to roughly around 1.4 million viewers a week for Raw. The reason why that is some people could even say the quality of the show, and I could agree with you, because Vince McMahon was still running the show, but if you look at it from a metric standpoint and you look at it from a numbers standpoint, really the majority of the reason as to why the numbers dropped is because of the fact that a lot of people are cutting the cord. A lot of people are cutting the cord and are stopping using cable. They're no longer using cable. And that's one of the reasons as to why, the numbers are dropping. And the fact that Raw is going to be going on Netflix, the numbers are going to be astronomical for Raw because the reach that Netflix has is going to be insane. And also, WWE has such a global reach internationally that it's going to be a benefit for the international markets. So what are my thoughts on this deal? I think this is a win-win for WWE. A $5 billion deal. WWE is making bank left and right. Business is peaking, and they're making money left and right with all of these deals. The smart thing, and what the thing is, and I tell people this all the time, WWE is basically going the NFL route with all their individual rights. They have, the Raw, SmackDown, and NXT are no longer just shows. They are franchises. The Raw franchise worth $5 billion. The SmackDown franchise worth $1 billion. The NXT franchise worth roughly around $20 million. Clearly, roughly around there, those are individual franchises. It's very similar to the NFL with Sunday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, Monday Night Football. It's very similar in that sense. And it is very smart that WWE has done that because they have built a fan base and a very loyal fan base and a fairly big fan base to really garner the amount of interest that they have on their shows. So, yeah, hats off to WWE when it comes to this new television deal with Monday Night Raw. Now, in terms of AEW, a lot of people were worried about the AEW television deal, whether or not if Warner Brothers Discovery was going to be moving Raw to the TNT network. A lot of people were concerned about AEW, but from what it looks like, the relationship that AEW and Warner Brothers Discovery have is very strong. Andrew Zarian earlier this week on Tuesday stated in a tweet, "Since we're on the topic of television and streaming rights, a source mentioned to me that it is a very possible way for AEW to become a cable/streaming hybrid show, much like how the NBA simulcasts TNT and Max." So if the rumors are true, and we all know the streaming deal with AEW is imminent at this point. It's going to happen. If the rumors are true, and if what Andrew Zarian is saying is right, AEW, having Dynamite, Collision, and Rampage not only airing on TNT and TBS, but also becoming simulcasted on the Max streaming service, that is a win for AEW if the rumors are true as well. Because, again, the reach that Max has, they have a shit ton of subscribers. Not as much that Netflix has, but, Max is one of the top streaming services in the world right now. And the reach that Max has is going to be great for the viewership for AEW. Again, cable is dying a slow death. And you are seeing more and more of these sports franchises turning to streaming rather than cable. Because, again, they know streaming has a bigger reach. And with the bigger reach, you're going to garner a larger audience. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on the new Monday Night Raw television.
Thanks, guys, so much for watching this clip from the WrestleHavoc Podcast. If you guys want to watch more content like this, please make sure to like and subscribe to the WrestleHavoc channel right here on YouTube, in which we discuss everything in and outside of the squared circle. Please make sure to like and subscribe for more content. And as the frickin' referee would say, ring, ring, ring that damn bell for more notifications.